The most important question I got was, what is your legacy? Not a material legacy, but if life stops now, how do you want to be remembered? What is your frequency legacy? The Phoenix Frequency podcasts are results from that question. When all seemed burnt in your life, the fertile ash of a phoenix is filled with compassion, love, forgiveness, empowerment, intuition, wisdom, generosity, creativity, resilience, a balance of an evolution and involution, what is needed to rise. I am Nienke van Bezooyen and I live my Phoenix frequencies. On a weekly basis, I share my insights, my resources, and I have guests who Phoenix themselves. If it resonates to you, you're welcome to rise. Welcome to the Phoenix Frequencies. It is 3 weeks ago now I came home from my fortnight in Korea. 2 weeks of wonderful collaboration, 2 weeks to dive into the unknown with no other aim than to come with listening ears, an open heart and a true willingness to learn. To get to know the people, the culture, the capital Seoul, but also the countryside. I learned it is polite to hand over your business card as first thing in a meeting. I had my cards, but I had them in a little transparent bag together with a gemstone heart of 1.5 inch. If the person wanted another, we had a box so they could listen to their heart's intuition and pick what they really liked, to what color resonated most. That opened every conversation. But I wasn't in Korea to get something. I came to build bridges from the heart, open my heart, and that was received. On my first day, I got myself a hanbok, a modern version of the traditional dress. Flowy, comfortable, with trousers or a traditional skirt. On the road, in the subway, in a taxi, at bus trips, I got many thanks, applause, appreciation. I got even touched. Many tourists dressed up in a hanbok. I was wearing one. That was highly appreciated. It made me feel at home in the country, although I was taller, blonde and walking with a cane. You don't see handicapped people in South Korea, but I was walking with my cane. That was quite an attraction. Among all the beautiful people I met in the packed schedule, I got stuck by one common thing in the South Korean culture. People work hard, try hard to make the best of all they do. Also, if it's out of their desire, even when it's causing stress, pain and discomfort. The people like to be kind and polite, but underneath there's a deep pain. The pain of shame. The pain of rejection, the possibility not to reach high standard, expectation or fame. To outgrow your family background with more wealth and success. And if you fail, shame on you. If you can't prove and you won't succeed, shame on you and beyond. Shame on your family, your children. Follow the rules, honor the leaders. Do what's expected. Punishment with shame is deeply, deeply rooted. I wondered why. I learned for centuries the Koreans lived based on Buddhism and lived a life based on respect, exchange, grow, harmony, kindness. But not all neighbors respected that DNA. Korea is strategically located for countries that like to rule and claim more land. So over the years, China and Japan dynasties overruled Korea and conquered the Korean by attack overnight, sneaking in and murdering the kindness, betraying the trust in each other, in other people. Shame on them who trusted. Shame on the people who didn't see the enemy coming. Proving your worth to trust again. Vulnerability became dangerous, going against silent rules as well. While I was in Seoul, Han Kang won the Nobel Literature Prize. Her book was banned by the South Korean government over 10 years. But when the world picked up and rewarded the book with a Nobel Prize, the government took advantage and showcased the prize as a big win for the country and the government, rather than taking the shame of the previous banning of the book. And Han Kang? She didn't want to feed the negativity. She just wanted to focus on writing her next novel. The country looks and longs for the old DNA of harmony and dignity, but the toxic Western way of striving and outsmarting even one another and yourself became the standard. That causes the lowest birth rate in the world and a very high level of suicide of elderly people. And in between, addiction of gambling is a huge problem. If you have no longer a job and no family can look after you, shame on you. If you want to leave the country to escape as a young person, to live abroad, avoid the suffocation of shame, shame on you and your family. And then there is a constant fear of war with what used to be part of the DNA. North Korea, the unchosen job of geopolitical buffer zone between East and West. People dying from stress, fear and uncertainty. But there is hope. Like Han Kang, I met new style leaders, people on Jeju Island who want youth to feel at home again, valued and loved again. They create a safe space to learn and grow. Mistakes are appreciated and applauded as growth opportunities. Safety, love. The agriculture is reformed, transformed as it was, in harmony, respected by organic farming. And in Jiri Mountains, I met the people who led for decades their Korean Economic Forum, like the exchange of the World Economic Forum, but then grassroots style, respected style. That's the difference. The more and more people we spoke with in the village of Jiri Mountains, and they heard about my visit to the DMZ and my commitment to peace, they suggested I would speak with the head monk of the temple complex. But we had no agenda. And then the miracles happened. On the last day, we got the invitation to meet the head monk during a tea ceremony. And so it happened. We got the opportunity to speak with one another for 19 minutes. Human to human, heart to heart, exchanging insight, thoughts and worldviews around peace. It went beyond time and space. They see the sun, the moon, the birds, the fish, the four-legged animals and the humans connected with earth as the pathway to peace, living in harmony again. I asked the head monk if I could bring their vision to the world, and I got the permission to share it with you all. And I even got a present what made me feel humble and deeply, deeply grateful. There at the temple, embraced by 28 mountains, there was no shame. There was hope and dignity. Shame is the poison that eats us from within, but it can't stand to be loved, heard or seen with a warm heart. It shrinks, it disappears. When you put shame inside yourself? When do you feed the shame of others by proving expectations before acceptance for being who you are, who others are? When do you lose your dignity? When do you swap respect, neutrality for saving your own looking good? When are you pleasing to be liked or loved, sacrificing your own dignity? We see more and more chaos of male dictators feeding fear, diversion, by blame and shame. But how deep the chaos might look like We have a choice. We don't have to do the same thing. We don't have to copy, proving the shame, feeding the blame, feeding the hurt. We have another choice. That choice is irresistible in the long term, and it's called love. You can show by bringing love, genuine care and respect from your heart to the street, at your kitchen table, your workplace, starting with yourself. Don't battle your shame by passing it on. If you have the courage, try a smile, kindness, sharing instead. Like the DNA of the Koreans, like the DNA of the true humanity. You can make that choice today and every day.